I am in the middle of 4 different books right now, and I desperately want to bring that number down to 1 or 0. I don't know how I came to be in this place. I only like reading 1 book at a time, but somehow I'm in the middle of 4 different books right now. The first one being The Way of Kings. This is a 1,000-page book. I am 100 pages into this. I'm really, really liking it, but it's almost just like super overwhelming, and it's hard for me to just dedicate my time to this book because it's gonna take a long time. So I picked up other books. I'm also in the middle of A Natural History of Dragons. This is by Marie Brennan. I am like 75 pages into this, or 70 pages into this. Loving this one so much. It is so much fun. This is my nighttime read. I read this on my Kindle before I go to sleep. So I've been reading this for 2 days now, and I'm at page 70. So I'd love to finish this one 100% in this video. Then we are reading Beautiful Boy. This is by David Scheff. This is a nonfiction book. I've been reading about 10 pages of this a day, so probably not gonna finish this one in this video, but I am on page number 38. I really enjoyed this one. It's a very hard-hitting book, and it's very difficult, but it is important to read nonfiction, and so I am doing that. And then finally, we have my main book at the moment, and that is The Book Thief. This is by Markus Zusak. This is a book about Nazi Germany, and I think I've been reading it really slow because I'm just really scared for what is going to happen in this book. I know nothing about this story, but it is in the perspective of death, and just some things we were told at the very beginning has made me a little scared to finish this book because I just feel like it's going to really, really hurt. It's going to be a difficult read. It's going to be very heartbreaking and sad. And I don't think I've ever read a book that takes place at this time, just because it is, like, I like reading for escapism and to not think about real life, and so this is just very hard to read, but I think it's super important, and so far it's incredible. And I'm gonna sit down for like a couple hours just right now, and we're gonna read this and just see what point we get to. I don't really know where this video is gonna take us. I'm just going to be reading. I have 2 days off in the middle of the week, so we might even throw a 24-hour reading challenge into this video. Who knows? We're just gonna be trying to finish some books. So let's get reading. Good morning, you guys. It is the next day, and it's time for a reading update. First of all, ignore this giant thing on my face. I got bit by something in my sleep. Presumably a spider. Also, I am sad today because over the weekend we reached 90 degrees 2 days in a row, and then we had an 85-degree day, and it was so beautiful, and today it is 58 degrees. So I'm a bit sad. First, let's just do a quick update on Beautiful Boy. We are 39 pages into this. I guess it's time for me to actually tell you what these books are about. So if you don't know what Beautiful Boy is, this is a father who pretty much just writes the story of his life with his son, who eventually becomes a meth addict. And it is so incredibly sad. But the author, David Scheff, doesn't hold back on his own faults, which I very much appreciate. Pretty much where we're at in the story now, it's just kind of building up to show what the childhood was like for the kid. His name is Nick. At a very young age, his parents got a divorce, and it kind of rocked his world in a sense. It's obviously very traumatizing and devastating every time a child has divorced parents. So that's kind of where the trouble started, and now we're seeing as he gets a little bit older, he's becoming maybe depressed and having just a little bit of struggle, and we're pretty much at this point just seeing the build up to him trying meth for the first time. It is such a hard story, but it does end happy, and there is hope. So I think that's an important thing to know going into this. There is hope, and there is always a chance for recovery in situations like this. This is a book that I definitely will have to only read like 10 pages a day because it is so hard. I have to read my 10 pages today, and then I'll be at page almost 50, which will be lovely. Next, for my nighttime read, A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan. Last night I was able to get up to page 96 or 95. Sorry, it doesn't have a page number on it, so I'm trying to do some math. We're on page number 95, which is that far into it. I am seriously loving this book. I feel like it's going to be 5-star. This book is about Isabella, aka Lady Trent. This is called the Lady Trent series. Ooh, it just got so bright outside. She is the world's preeminent dragon naturalist, which means she studies dragons. So we started out the story knowing that this is Lady Trent telling us this story as she's an elderly woman. I'm pretty sure she's elderly. She is just telling us the story of how she got into being a dragon naturalist. She always had this fascination ever since she was a little girl just for the natural world and for dragons specifically, but because it wasn't proper for her to be interested in dragons, she kind of focused on horses while she was younger. But now in this story, she is a recently married woman, and her husband married her because they have the same interests, and it's really beautiful. I am loving this story so much. It only has like a little bit of romance because they kind of, it was like an arranged marriage kind of deal, and it was really sweet. They actually met at, it was kind of like a zoo. I don't remember what they call it, but it was kind of like a zoo, and there were some dragons there, and that's where her and her husband met. At this point in the story, she's about to go on her first expedition to see dragons in the wild, and she's going just to be like a helper to assist her husband and his friends and to draw photos for them, because she's an artist and she constantly is having these photos in this book that she drew of different dragons and stuff, and I'm trying to find a picture specifically to show you. Here, like we have that she drew. So yeah, she's just gonna go on this expedition with them. Oh, it's so much fun. I am loving this so much. I feel like if you liked Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, you would like this series. I actually didn't really like that book, but I am loving this, and I wonder if it's just because it's about dragons and I like dragons. But yeah, I am nearly 100 pages into this, absolutely loving it. I'm hoping to finish it within the next few days because it is just going by really fast. I read 100 pages in 3 nights, and at night I really don't I don't read for a long time because I just end up getting super tired, but I'm loving this so much. I'm gonna briefly talk about this. I didn't read any of this because I think I want to finish A Natural History of Dragons and The Book Thief before I even jump back into this, because it's intimidating. There's so much. And that brings us to the main event, which is The Book Thief. I was able to get up to page number 258 last night. This is nearly halfway done. This book is incredible. Let's talk a bit about what this is actually about. So our narrator in this book is Death himself, and I am really loving that perspective, but it's kind of scary because at the beginning of the book he almost gives us these spoilers about what's to come, and it freaks me out. And recently he gave like big spoilers, and it like made me cry. I was like, oh my gosh, I am not prepared for what this book is going to do to me. But we are following our main character, whose name is Liesel. Yes, Liesel. At the very beginning of the book, she is on the way to her foster home. Her mom is actually dropping her off, her and her brother. And on the way to this new foster home, her brother dies. The reason she's even being taken to a foster home is because her mother is very ill and she can't take care of them anymore, and so she just wants to give them to a good family. But soon after she is dropped off at this family's house, she kind of goes missing. We don't hear from her again. And Liesel is having these horrible, horrible nightmares every single night about her brother's death. She just can't get it out of her mind at night. And so her foster father, who she very soon starts just calling Papa, he comes in at night and he starts teaching her how to read and write, and she becomes obsessed with books. Actually, at her brother's funeral, it's a very short, very fast funeral that just consists of her mother, and then 2 gravediggers. One of the gravediggers accidentally drops a book, and that is when our main character, Liesel, steals her very first book, and it is a gravedigger's hand guide. So as she's having these nightmares every single night, her new foster father comes in and he starts teaching her to read and write, and they're going through the gravedigger's handbook themselves. It almost seems sweet and wholesome at the beginning of this book, and you forget what this book is actually about, which is Nazi Germany. And then you are told a horrific detail that really just brings you right back to what the story is about, and it's such a hard read. And it's making me wonder if maybe I should read some more historical fiction, because this is just like incredible. I already know it's going to be 5 stars. So Liesel's family is not a part of the Nazi party. Her father does not believe in that. He truly hates Hitler. And now we are at the point in the story where they are actually hiding a Jewish man in their basement. I don't know where this is going to go. I'm just really scared. I am so scared to finish this book, but I'm hoping to be able to finish it within the next couple days. Tomorrow and Thursday, I have both those days off, and I'm thinking I might do like a 24-hour reading challenge of sorts. It's not gonna be official because I have a couple things I have to do, but I'm thinking I'm just gonna set like 12 days or 12 hours for each day and just read. We're doing super well. We are on track to finish these 2 books at least in this reading vlog, and then maybe some more since we're gonna be reading a lot within the next few days. I'm having a really great time with these books. I need this book, especially with reading this book and Beautiful Boy. Like, I need this. But yeah, I'm gonna go to work now, and then I'm gonna come home and I'm going to read a ton, Lord willing. If you're wondering what I'm eating for breakfast, it is mac and cheese and beans. It's just some leftovers from some dinner I got a couple days ago, and I just had to mix it together. It looks so gross, but look how cute the plate is. Actually the same day as the last clip. It's just evening time. I actually don't know what time it is. Let me check. It is 8:53 and I actually think I'm going to be finishing this book tonight. I only have this little bit left. I'm on page number 465. I have just literally sat down and binged this today, and I think I just need to finish it tonight. I only have that much left, so I'm gonna sit here for the next couple hours, however long it takes me to finish this book, and I just feel like it's gonna ruin my world, at least ruin my night. This has been, I don't even know how to explain my reading experience because I feel like I've already said like what I think. Like, it is so heartwarming, but then at the same time it is just breaking my heart. Like, it's a really hard read. And it's supposed to be. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish this book up tonight, and I'll probably update you tomorrow. There is the most beautiful sunset going on right now. I inserted like a couple of clips, but I think I'm gonna try to get a couple more because it's just so beautiful. But yes, let's finish this book. I woke up and I started my 24-hour reading challenge. Well, I'm doing 12 hours today and 12 hours tomorrow. So I started the 12 hours and then I promptly fell back asleep. So now we're at 10 hours and 17 minutes left on the timer. But before we start our reading for the day, we need to talk about The Book Thief, because I did in fact finish this yesterday. And the ending of this was horrible, and I feel like if we talk about it too much, I'm going to start crying again. I literally, after I finished it, I couldn't stop thinking about it, and this morning I woke up and immediately started thinking about it. This is 5 stars. This is 6 stars even. It absolutely shattered me, and I don't know what to do now. I feel wrong and guilty moving on from this book because it just hit me that hard. I just like, what am I supposed to do, you know? This was written so well. I loved how we were in the perspective of death. I feel like it made it just even more hard-hitting, and I just don't know what to do now, you know? I genuinely have never cried as hard as I cried while reading this book yesterday. I thought about filming when I was reading like the last bit of this, but I was crying so hard that I had like snot pouring down my face. I had to keep like wiping myself off, and I was just a mess. So I'm glad I didn't film that, but I think this is one of those books that should be like required reading in school, or just that everyone should read at some time in their life. I don't know if I'll ever read this again because it broke my heart. It just hurt so bad, and it's supposed to. So when I said that the ending of this is horrible, not in the sense that it was bad writing, because it was phenomenal writing. The characters were so well done. Everything was perfect. It is just heartbreaking. Yeah, 6 stars to The Book Thief. I feel like this has literally changed who I am as a person. I don't know how to go on. But that being said, I do need to go on, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that, even though it hurts, and I'm gonna be thinking about The Book Thief for the rest of my life, guaranteed. Ugh. But I think we're just going to be picking up A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan this morning. I'm on chapter 7, part 2. Woohoo! So we're gonna start this up today and finish it today, ideally, if the challenge goes as planned, and then see where we go from there. I need to make myself a coffee, a beverage of sorts, and then, yeah, we'll get started reading. Sorry about the noise, the dryer is running, but today's beverage choice is Sunday Fun Day by the Donut Shop, my very favorite flavor, but it's like a limited edition. And our mug of choice is the Stitch mug. We now have 8 hours remaining on the timer, and I didn't make it as far as I thought I was going to. It's been a bit of a slower reading day for me. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's just like I'm reading slower in the physical book, because when I was reading this before, I was reading it on my Kindle at night, so I'm just reading a bit slower in the physical book. But I've made it to chapter 12, page 162. So we made it halfway in the book so far. I think I'm going to be picking this up audibly. Actually, let me check to see if it's on Spotify. It is. Let's see how much time I would have left.
12. The Feast of...
I have about 2.6 hours left if I listen to this audibly. So I think I'm gonna pick it up on Spotify because I have some hours left, and I want to do some cleaning, do some laundry, so I'll probably just finish this book by listening to it. I am loving it so much. There was this quote in here that I really liked, and I think I'm going to share it with you. So this quote is Isabella talking to her husband one night, and I just really liked it. It says, "It's as if there is a dragon inside me. I don't know how big she is. She may still be growing, but she has wings and strength, and I can't keep her in a cage. She'll die. I'll die. I know it isn't modest to say these things, but I know I'm capable of more than life in Skirland will allow. It's all right for women to study theology or literature, but nothing so rough and ready as this, and yet this is what I want. Even if it's hard, even if it's dangerous, I don't care. I need to see where my wings can carry me." I just really, really love that quote, and I thought I'd share it with you. But I really like our main character, Isabella. She's a lot of fun. She's still like kind of uppity because where she's from, she has wealth and she is used to like these luxuries. So going on this expedition and not having all the things she normally has been kind of rough for her and kind of funny and comical in a way because, you know. The place that she has gone on this expedition to is up in the mountains. It is very cold and she does not like the cold. She doesn't really know the language of the people that she is visiting, but she is slowly learning it, and she has kind of like a maid that is, I guess, helping her to learn the language in a way, but they're kind of butting heads. I don't know. I really, really like it. It is super exciting and very adventurous. I think I am going to buy the second book here pretty soon because I just really, really love this. And I feel like it's probably not going to be a 5-star read, but this is just such a wonderful story and I'm having a blast. So yeah, I'm going to pick this up audibly and do some cleaning. I just finished A Natural History of Dragons and it was going to be like a 4.75-star book. It was so good. But then something happened at the end that I cannot forgive, and I literally don't think I needed to be there. I don't know. Obviously, it's a 5-book series, so I don't know what's gonna happen in the next 4 books. I have already ordered the second book in the series and I plan to read it very soon. Sorry, I just realized that the exposure is super bright right now. Let me change that real quick. Much better. Anyways, there was something that happened at the very end of this book that I just was like, why did that happen? Why did we do that? And so that brought it down only a half step or a quarter step, I guess, because I'm just gonna give this one 4.5 stars. It was so wonderful. It's, like I said before, just a really fun, adventurous book. There's still some like emotional, really sad parts in this, but overall, I would say it's very lighthearted and just really exciting and adventurous, and I loved that so much. I feel like I've been looking for a book like this for a while because I'm not into cozy fantasy kind of stuff. Like, I still need it to be high stakes, and I still need there to be some like life-threatening elements in the books I read. And this was just perfect because it still felt cozy in a sense, but it was very high stakes and it was just so much fun. I loved it so much and I can't wait to read the second book. So we have our first book done for this 24-hour reading challenge, and we have 5 hours left on the timer. I think my next reading plans are going to be, number 1, I would like to read some of the Bible. If you're curious, right now I am reading 1 Corinthians. So I want to read some of this, and then after that, I think I'm just gonna tackle the next Spy Family volume I have, and that is volume number 8. This is by Tatsuya Endo. It's just about a family of spies, assassins, and mind readers. I'll get more into this later, but I'm gonna read the Bible. I just need that right now. Don't we all? I'll catch up with you later, probably once I have finished this, honestly, because this is gonna be no more than an hour. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a bit sleepy here. Where's my phone? We have 3 hours, 22 minutes left on the timer. I just finished Spy Family Volume 8 and I really enjoyed this one, which I'm so happy because Volume 7 I didn't really love all that much. It was like my least favorite one of the series so far, but I loved this one. So just to go into a little bit more detail, I've talked a lot about this manga series on my YouTube account, so I'm not going to go too much into detail, but pretty much we have our like main character, I guess you say. There's like a bunch of main characters, but it's Lloyd Forger. He is a spy. He's like the world's best spy, and he was given this mission where he has to basically form a family to infiltrate a school because he's trying to like get some intel on this guy, and his son goes to this school. So he finds a wife, and little does he know she is actually an assassin. And then they adopt a child, and little do they know she is a mind reader. So she knows that Lloyd Forger is an assassin or a spy, and that the wife Yuri, I think that's her name, I always forget, that she's an assassin. And then the daughter's name is Anya, and they don't know she's a mind reader. It's so much fun. They just get into a lot of different little situations. There's always some shenanigans going on, but I really enjoy this series. It's just a lot of fun overall. It's very heartwarming. This one took place on a cruise, and I think the next one also takes place on the cruise because it left off on a cliffhanger. I don't actually own the next volume, so I'm gonna have to get on that, but it's not a priority. I liked this one a lot. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I actually have a small group with my church I'm going to tonight, and I'm leaving here at 6:45. So I'm gonna be finishing up like right around when I'm supposed to be leaving, which is perfect. So I'm actually going to be picking up Beautiful Boy, reading my, I think I forgot to read my 10 pages yesterday, so we're gonna do 20 pages today. So we're at 49, so we just have to get to page 69 today. Turns out I'm a bit of an overachiever because I made it to page 72 instead of 69. I just wanted to end off the chapter I was on. So we made it to chapter 6, page 72, or technically 73. Not that far, but I'm still liking it a lot. I picked up the audiobook on Audible, and I really enjoy the narrator on that. So I would recommend reading this audibly. Now it's time to pick another book. I already have a book choice. I'm not gonna pick up The Wave Kings because that's just too daunting for me right now, and I kind of wanted to just pick up another series that I've been reading, and I just recently finished the 3rd book in the series, so I figured we just like keep the momentum going and pick up the 5th book, and so that is The House of Hades by Rick Riordan. This is book number 4 in the Heroes of Olympus series. So there's only 2 more books I have left to read. I think this is the longest one in this series. So this book is 583 pages long. It's pretty long. I think this will take me, obviously, the remainder of my hours today, and then a very good chunk of the hours tomorrow. So we're gonna get started on this right now. I'm so excited to read this. I've been thinking about picking it up ever since I finished the last book last week, and so I'm just really excited to pick this up. I have to leave for my small group pretty much now, but it says like 3 minutes left, so I'm just going to exit out of there. And I made it up to page 57, chapter IX. I don't know Roman numerals. I feel like I don't have anything to say about this because this is book number 4 in the series, but I can tell you that I'm really liking it. Something really crazy happened at the end of the last book, and so that's why I really wanted to jump into this one so soon. Even though we're only about 60 pages in, I am really loving it so far, and this story is just crazy. And even if you are an adult like me, I think you should still read this series because it's just really fun. But that being said, the challenge is over for the day. This is the last thing I'm going to be reading for today, so we're just gonna place it up there until tomorrow, and I'll pick back up on the vlog tomorrow. Good morning. I woke up a little bit late today, so our timer started just like a bit later, like an hour later than yesterday. So right now we have 11 hours and 33 minutes remaining on the clock, and I'm actually about to leave right now, like literally right now, to go hang out with my friend Faith. We're gonna go to a coffee shop and read, and I'm just going to be reading The House of Hades. My only goal for today is to finish this book. If I can finish this book, I will be happy. But yeah, I'm gonna hang out with Faith and we're gonna read, and then I actually am gonna go meet with a friend from church after that, 10:30. But then after that, totally free for the rest of the day. So I think we will be able to finish this, but we'll wait and see. Let's go to the coffee shop.
So I'm like, I want to read that.
That girl pops out so many books.
I know, but I feel like the last couple, or at least the boyfriend, was that her last one besides the
The
tenant?
Crash.
Oh, I haven't read that one yet, but I've heard
I
mixed
don't
things
want to read
about
that
it.
because she's pregnant in it, and I don't like that. I don't like when there's like a risk of a baby. I have only read The Handmaid. No, The Handmaid's Tale. What is that called? The Handmaid?
Housemaid.
Housemaid. I am back from my coffee date with Faith, and we had so much fun. I got a little bit done. I think I stayed there for like, it was nearly 2 hours, but I feel like I only read for about an hour. And I got up to page 112, which I think is pretty good for an hour because that's over 50 pages. I love the Percy and Annabeth content we get in this. They are just so adorable and I love them and I want to protect them. I actually paused the timer for now because I'm about to go meet up with a gal from church, and it says I have 9 hours and 16 minutes left on the timer. So I want to save that up for later when I can actually read. So I'm gonna go meet with her right now and then I'll come home and continue reading this. I was hoping that when I got home from the coffee shop that my book that I ordered yesterday would get here, but it is not here yet. So I'll open that whenever it gets here. I am home. I am in my PJs. I am so ready to get comfy and just read, but I do have book mail like I promised, and I also have a book haul for you guys because I did end up going to Half Price Books after I went and met with my friend from church. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't. And all of these books were about $3. It was a steal. Also, when I was checking out, I realized they're all older books. So I'm just really, really excited for this book haul. First, let's open up my book mail and then I'll get into these ones. So we all know what this is going to be because I told you I ordered it yesterday. I'm excited to see what it looks like in person. Ugh, these books are so pretty. This is the second book to A Natural History of Dragons, and I love this cover. This whole series is just so stunning, and it's nice and floppy. I just really want to start reading this, but I'm gonna hold off for a little bit because I think I do want to read The Way of Kings after I finish my current read, because I was actually listening to a bit of The Way of Kings in my car and I thought, okay, I think I'm prepared to get back into this book. But anyways, so excited for this. This one, where does this take place? This takes place 3 years after the first book, and it says she's on an expedition to the war-torn continent of Eriga. She's going to be in the jungle known as Green Hell, where her resourcefulness and scientific curiosity will be tested as never before. I cannot wait to read this. Okay, let's talk about all these books, I got 5 books that I'm really excited about. So the first one I got is just a little collection of Edgar Allan Poe Gothic tales. This is what the cover looks like. It may not seem like it, but I'm actually a big Edgar Allan Poe fan. During school, I always loved when we got to like dissect all of his poems and creepy tales, and I actually did a presentation on The Cask of Amontillado, which was one of my favorite stories by him. And this one has Metzengerstein, you know what, I don't know how to pronounce that. The Mask of the Red Death, which I really enjoy, and The Telltale Heart, which is like probably one of his most favorite, or one of his most famous ones. I just thought it was really cute, and I haven't read any Poe since I think high school, and I would really like to get back into his works because they're just so creepy and gothic and just a lot of fun in my opinion. So I'm so happy I got this, and it was so cheap and it's so cute. Next 2 books I got, I was so excited to see because I've been looking for these editions specifically, and I was so happy to find them because they're so beautiful. So first we have The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Isn't it so pretty? There's a little Gandalf right down there. But yeah, I've actually only read The Fellowship of the Ring, and I never continued the series, so I would like to get back on that this year, probably in the fall/winter time. But these editions are just my favorite, and I don't know, there's something about like the actual pages that's just so satisfying, and I love them. So I got that one, and then I also found The Return of the King, and it's so beautiful. I love it. This is the 3rd book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, so I still need to find the other 2, but you know what? We have time. I got a book that I have never heard of before, but I was drawn to the cover, I was drawn to the name of the book, and then I read the summary, and I thought it sounded pretty good. I think it's like a sci-fi kind of deal, and it is Antarctica by Kim Stanley Robinson. So this is what the cover looks like. I just love it. I don't know. And we can just read the synopsis together. It says, "It is a stark and inhospitable place where the landscape itself poses a challenge to survival, yet its strange silent beauty has long fascinated scientists and adventurers. Explorers have crossed this vast frozen terrain for many reasons: to stand in awe before the volcanic Mount Erebus, or Antarctica's other natural wonders, to fathom the mysteries of ages past, to exploit its great stores of untapped mineral wealth, or to pit themselves against this cold, unforgiving continent. Now Antarctica faces an uncertain future. The international treaty which protects the continent is about to dissolve, clearing the way for Antarctica's resources to be plundered, its eerie beauty to be savaged. As politicians wrangle over its fate from half a world away, major corporations begin probing for its hidden riches. Adventurers come as they have for more than a century." Is that it? "Seeking the wild, untamed land, even as they endanger it with their ever-growing numbers, and radical environmentalists carry out a covert campaign of sabotage to reclaim the land from those who would destroy it for profit. All who come here have their own agenda, and all will fight to ensure their vision of the future for this last great wilderness." I don't know, it sounds really good to me. It sounds like something that I would really very much enjoy. So I will read this at some point, and I can't wait for it. I'm so happy I found it because it is just so stunning. And then finally, we have a book that I've actually been really wanting to get, but I wanted to get it secondhand, and I couldn't find an edition that I really liked, but I found this one, and I quite like it. So we actually have The Odyssey by Homer. So this is what my edition looks like. I don't know, I really like it. And then on the back, it just has like the arm. And then that's what the spine looks like. So as we all know, they are making a movie of The Odyssey, and I haven't read this since high school, but I remember really enjoying it. So I figured, why not just read it? Why not just start it now and read it before the movie comes out? I already know I'm gonna really like it because this is just something I'm super interested in, and clearly I like reading about Greek mythology. So these are, hang on, here we have all the books I got today. I am so happy. I don't know where I'm gonna put these because I'm running out of shelf space. Oh, I did want to update you on The Way of Kings. Let me see how far into that book I am because I did listen to like a little bit of it while I was driving today. So let me go grab that book and see where we're at. Okay, so I literally only read like 12 pages while I was driving, which is like 30 minutes. So I'm on page 112, chapter 7, still barely made a dent in this. Also, I don't know how to describe this book yet because I don't know anything about it. I'm so confused. I'm not confused about like what the book is about. I'm just confused about the magic system right now. I literally have no idea what it is. They call people like light eyes or dark eyes, and it hasn't explained what that means at all. It hasn't really explained any of the powers very well. So I'm like, what is this book about? I'm gonna read House of Hades now. It's time to do a bit of an update. We're just chilling in the bedroom right now. I felt like it was super bright and cozy in here right now, and I wanted like all the sunlight I can get because it's cold outside and I wish I was outside, but the sunlight will have to do. So I have reached 200 pages in my book. I'm really liking it so far. I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this book today. I feel like I am reading it incredibly slow. We only have 4 hours and 40 minutes left, and I still have like 400 pages to go. So there's just like no chance I'm gonna be finishing this book today. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Like, do I want to continue with this book or do I want to pick something else up? What am I in the mood for right now? I truly don't know. Actually, you know what? I do need to read my pages for Beautiful Boy. So I'm gonna pick up that. I'm gonna listen to some of that. And maybe we'll do some coloring. Okay, that sounds good. That's the plan for now. We're gonna pick up Beautiful Boy. We have 3 hours left in the challenge, and I have decided that I am gonna be done with Heroes of Olympus today. I did end up reading my 10 pages plus more of Beautiful Boy. So now I'm on page number 125, and I think before I was on page number like 72 or something like that. But yeah, we're a good ways into this. I just sat and colored for a while and just listened to this. I was gonna listen to more, but then my headphones died. So now we're gonna move on to something else. And I think I'm actually just gonna sit and read my Edgar Allan Poe collection. Yeah, that's all I have planned for right now. This is not gonna take me a long time, but I just want something short and easy for right now. So that's what we're gonna do. Dinner today needed to be simple, so I made mac and cheese and broccoli, and I put tapatio on my mac and cheese, and it hits the spot. We have finally made it to the end of this video. Everyone give yourselves a round of applause, give yourselves a little pat on the back because you deserve it, because I think this is gonna be a long one. We read a lot in this video today. All of these books, I mean, we didn't read like all of the books, but like we read a bit of each book and we finished a couple books. So let's just do a quick wrap up, give you my final thoughts and ratings. I had such a great reading week and I'm so excited for you to see this video. So first and foremost, I finished off my 24-hour reading challenge, reading Edgar Allan Poe's Gothic tales. I still had like, I think an hour and a half left of my challenge, but I was honestly really burnt out from reading, so I just watched Star Wars. I loved this. I've already read The Telltale Heart and then The Mask of the Red Death before. Those are iconic short stories from him. The Mask of the Red Death is one of my favorites. I just love it so much. So it was just so much fun to read it again after not having read it for years and years because I haven't been in high school for a long time. And then the first one was like Metzengersteiner, what is it? Metzengerstein? I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's basically just someone's last name. That one, I actually want to look into that one a bit more and see what are the meanings, the hidden meanings in it, because I'd like to know more about that. It's just so much fun to dissect his poems and his short stories. I don't know that I'm gonna even rate this one because I feel like it'd be kind of weird to just rate this little thing of short stories, but on Goodreads I just put 5 stars because I liked it a lot. But I am glad I finished off on this one because it just was so nice to read. All right, now we're gonna talk about the books that we finished. So we finished Spy Family Volume 8, gave this one 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. We also finished A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan. I am obsessed with this series already. I can't wait to start the second book, but I do want to finish a couple books I'm in right now before I even pick up the next one. But this one was 4.5 stars. I almost want to just raise it up to 4.75 stars. Okay, 4.75 stars. We're gonna stick with that. And then the shining star of this video, one of my new all-time favorite books, The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. This, I don't even know. I was explaining this book to Elijah last night and I just was crying. And I was like, I don't know what to do because I'm just so sad. Anyways, 6 stars. Now let's talk about the 3 books that I did not finish but that we read either a few pages of or a good chunk of. So first one being The House of Hades. I stopped yesterday at page 202, which is just like not even halfway, because I think halfway would be around like 300 pages. But this is like my main read right now. I just want to read like 100 pages of this a day. That seems very doable. I am obsessed with this world, with this series, the universe. It is so much fun to me and I highly, highly recommend it. Then we have Beautiful Boy by David Scheff, and I made it up to page number 125, part 3. I highly recommend picking this up audibly. I'm really enjoying the audiobook. He did make a mistake, I noticed, which I've never heard someone make a mistake in an audiobook before. But anyways, I'm really enjoying the audiobook and I think I'm gonna continue reading it that way. And then we have The Way of Kings, which I only read like 12 pages of. I'm on page 112, chapter 7, called Anything Reasonable. I feel like this vlog was kind of all over the place and I was slowly descending into madness. Now it's a new day and I'm not doing a reading challenge anymore. I feel better about the fact that I'm not in the middle of 4 different books right now. I mean, now I'm in the middle of 3 books, so, but I don't know, it just still feels better on my heart. You know what I mean? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I really enjoyed making it. I love doing these random challenges and making videos, so I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.